Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for coming. I'm sure you all have been antsy and you're waiting in anticipation about the mayor's decision about who's going to be our next acting chief of police. That decision has been made very methodically, very painstakingly. I met with all of the captains, and they are fully apprised of my decision, and they stand here in unity in accepting and respecting the decision I have made. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. And as you know, our former chief of police, Chief Pierre Ritter, retired yesterday after 32 years of service with this force and 3 years as police chief in this administration. He served the citizens and the administration well, so it is critical that his successor would have commitment and passion for the city and make the safety of the city and effective management of law enforcement team their top priorities. Today, I am appointing acting chief of police who will have the full authority, joined at the hip with the mayor, and that is not per se, that is literally of the position and support of the city's administration. I expect that existing initiatives and programs that have been implemented to date will continue. However, I fully expect that the acting chief's skills, knowledge, abilities, collaboration with the management team, and personal leadership style will result in the development of new ideas, approaches, and leadership that will enhance the operational effectiveness, communication, and ongoing services for the citizens of Harrisburg. At this time, I'm pleased to announce that I'm appointing Captain Carter as the new acting chief of police. Of the responsibilities and divisions of the Harrisburg Bureau of Police. He is respected. He served 26 years as a member of the Harrisburg Police Bureau. He's a graduate of Harrisburg High School, attended Harrisburg Area Community College, California University of Pennsylvania, and received certification from the Pennsylvania State Police Academy. He began his career with the department as a police officer in 1988 and was assigned to the Detectives Bureau in 1993. Rising through the ranks, was promoted to corporal in 2003, sergeant in 2007, and captain in June of this year. Throughout his career, he has played a significant role in the investigations of serious crimes and the arrest of suspects of those crimes. He has received numerous commendations for valor, bravery, heroism, and merit. He has served in details including the Curfew Task Force, the Robbery Task Force, the Sanitation Unit, and Foot Patrol, and he commanded the School Resource Officers operation. His experience has provided a broad view of city's issues with crime and a keen awareness of the capacity and capability of the department to meet the needs of citizens of Harrisburg. His skill and proven ability in the field of law enforcement, supervision, and management, coupled with his knowledge of the community, will serve him well in this new capacity. I thank Captain Cleary and Captain Oates for their continued dedication and extraordinary skills and knowledge and service to our city, and trust that they will continue to provide outstanding support to the office of the acting chief of police as valued members of a leadership team. I want to thank the members of the city's Bureau of Police and trust that they will continue to actively engage with the acting chief in the endeavor to protect and serve the citizens of this great city. Thank you all for coming, and we'll prepare to answer any questions after brief comments from Captain Carter. Be light on him because, acting Chief Carter now, because he is just being apprised of this decision too. I kept it very close to me. Loose lips sink ships, and no one knew my decision until 10 minutes ago. Thank you. Acting Chief Carter.
Thank you, Mayor, Mr. Philbin. I want to thank my comrades, Captain Oates and Captain Cleary. I know that the decision was tough. Captain Oates and Captain Cleary bring so much to the table. They're excellent police officers. They're excellent leaders. They assured me that they will help me with my maiden voyage, that we'll all come together as a team, unite as a team, and look out for the city's best interest. I want to thank the uniformed people upstairs. You're the backbone of the city, and we look forward to working with you people. My guys up in CID, I love you guys. I've always wanted to investigate violent crime. I was given an opportunity here. Harrisburg is my home. It's been really good to me. And I thank you.
At this time, we'll take a few questions. Yes.
Well, I have a question for Sergeant Carter, well, Captain Carter, what Chief. Well, that was actually the question, because you went from Sergeant to Captain to Chief. How are you surprised at all that you seem to move up the ladder so fast? It seems like.
To you, it may seem fast. To me, it was at turtle speed. I know that everything happens to those that wait on it. The competition among the supervisors are always great. There are excellent people here, outstanding talent here. My time has finally come. When I made corporal was my time when I made sergeant, was my time when I made acting captain. Now it's my time that I made chief. But the competition has always been great. The competition and the camaraderie among us officers, they're well educated, they know what they're doing. So I want to thank the mayor and the city of Harrisburg for giving me an opportunity.
And I know that you're the acting chief next year, whoever the mayor is, could appoint a new chief. How do you feel about that? Do you hope that you remain in the seat? Or?
I don't look down the line like that. I'm here to do a job, the here and the now. We're going to deal with that. His prerogative is, if he wants to move me out and move someone else in, I have no problems with that. The only thing I care about is serving the citizens of the city and making policing better in this city, and protecting our youth, and just keep moving on.
Thank you so much. Mayor, I have a question for you now.
Did you have a question for Chief?
Yes.
For acting chief?
What would your top goal be in the few months that, as acting, whatever happens next?
I don't want to answer that question right now. I would defer that question until later on.
If you want to talk to the patrols, is that if you want to talk to the patrols first?
Yes, I want to talk to my staff, to my captains, to my command staff people before I make any comments about that.
Yes.
You mentioned when you started your introduction that this decision was a painstaking decision. Can you elaborate on that?
I mean, just extraordinary talent here. You have 3 captains, and they all have very specialized skill sets, and they all have been in leadership positions, and they all have longevity here. And that's, it's always difficult. My decisions are based on people's skill sets, ability to get the job done. And the competition here at the table was extremely difficult. Painful, because on one hand, you look at one person, you say, I want that person. And then you look at all the other factors that I made to put into this to make my decision, it became painful. So it's, as I said, I cannot just stand here and isolate one factor. It's a culmination, and that's what made it so difficult. So, I believe we have the best person. I believe I have selected the best person independent of anyone's persuasion. As I said to you, I do know that there have been certain people that wanted certain people, and that's not how I make decisions. I make decisions based on the collective information that I gather, my experiences with that individual. I have watched every staff member in my administration, those who think I don't watch them. And I make decisions based on their attitudes, their behavior, their decision making, their leadership ability, certainly their skills and knowledge. And certainly Captain Oates is very, very extraordinary leader. And I have worked with her just as close as the chief of police. And I know she aspired and desired to be the acting chief, but she is profoundly skilled at managing our patrol unit. and that is the backbone of this city. And I have no doubt that she is capable of being a chief of police. I have no doubt about that. However, when you make leadership decisions, you have to make them based on what is in the best interest of the city. And I need her to stay in that captain position to continue to manage, you know, the patrol unit, like I said, which is the backbone and the face of this city. That was critical to me.
Who will be over the?
We're not going to get into that yet. As you heard, Acting Chief Carter indicated, we have not discussed the global picture yet. We will make sure that as we continue to stabilize whatever position is vacant, we will let that plan be known. Sorry for anticipating your question, but I know you enough now too. All right, yes.
What's the process now to submit to City Council for approval?
Absolutely not. This is the position that the mayor has total autonomy in deciding. It does not go down to City Council. The decision that I've made today and announced is final. No council input. Yes, Amelia.
I'm sorry if you already explained this, but why acting chief?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Why acting chief?
I'm not going to make a decision this is a critical position. And, you know, I always said that I wanted the new mayor to be treated as I had desired to be treated when I became the mayor. And when I became the mayor, the prior mayor made a decision to appoint a chief of police. And I didn't think that was fair to me or the city of Harrisburg. And so my decision to make this person acting is out of respect for me saying what I believe in, and that is in a position of this type of importance, in a position that pretty much dictates the protection of this community, its citizens, its elected officials, the mayor, our tourists, our business people, then the next mayor needs to have that authority to make that decision because they will be working with that person over the next 4 years of their tenure. And that was why I made it acting. Yes.
Good afternoon, Mayor. I ask this question respectfully, but a lot of people, myself included, look at police departments similar to the military. And in the military, there's always a chain of command, and of course, within the chain of command, you have promotions. And some, and again, I ask this respectfully, may look at, and we know Acting Chief Carter is clearly qualified, but they may look at this appointment as being a bit awkward or even as a surprise because it may not have stayed, I guess, in concert with the typical chain of command promotion. Because we know that Sergeant Carter was then an acting captain, forgive me if I have the timelines wrong, and now he's acting chief. But some may say, well, this may be a surprise or even an awkward promotion. How would you respond to that? I think you already answered it, but how would you respond to that
I did answer.
question?
And I'm not going to play into hypotheses or they and those. I'm just not going to do it. If that's the question you ask as an individual, as a reporter, or as a civilian, I've answered your question. I am confident that I have selected the right person, and tradition doesn't play a factor in my decision making. Tradition sometimes gets us in a whole lot of trouble. A lot of traditional things got us into the worst financial crisis in the history of Harrisburg. The Good Old Boy Network, the Good Old Girl Network. And I didn't make my decision based on tradition and the Good Old Boy Network and the Good Old Boy. I made my decision based on what was collectively healthy for this city. And again, this is a great team. They all have distinguished skill sets. They are profound in what they do. And I had to look at the global picture. And the shifting around would have, I believe, caused greater devastation to this police department that we cannot afford. Public safety is my #1 priority, has always been, along with the city's fiscal solvency, and I'm proud that I'm staying on track with that mission and commitment.
And if I may, Mayor.
Leadership is important in that process.
Mayor, if I may, my last
Sure.
question is with some military experience and background, within the ranks, there's morale. Do you think that this move is good for morale or will have an impact on morale, or was that a factor that you also took under consideration?
Nothing was left off the table, and I believe this will be an added value. Listen, I just got done talking to the captains about morale, and you know, my thing is, you know, those police officers took an oath of office. They swore to a high calling that they would protect and serve. And to discuss morale as a reason of not supporting a new acting chief, that's reckless and irresponsible with anyone. Morale should not play a factor in you working with the chief of police or a captain or a sergeant. Your job is to come and protect and serve and leave the morale outside the door. That's the bottom line.
Thank you.
You said that Captain Oates expressed that she wanted to be the new acting chief.
That's not what I said.
You said aspired to be Captain Oates aspired to be the new acting chief because you thought she was better at managing the patrol unit.
What I said was, as like I said for Captain Cleary and Captain Carter, they all aspired. Don't isolate her. Don't write your story that way. They all aspired, which is why they all were interviewed.
That's what I wanted to.
Yeah. They all came in the interview process and said that this was their end game. They desired to be ultimately one day the chief of police.
Were these three candidates the only ones that you considered? Anyone else?
Captains, absolutely. That it, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. Have a great day. And congratulate Captain Carter, who is now acting chief of police once again. Thank you.
I grew up watching the Barney Miller Show. I like watching Barney Miller. I like watching how he interacted with his people. He was the captain of CID. He had his Wojciechowicz, his wise guy. He had his people up there that he had to supervise and to manage. And I watched that show every day, and I just inspired to be a police officer. I always wanted to be the CID captain. When I first, joined the police force, my goal was to become CID captain. I reached that goal, and yes, and so right now the mayor moved me on to be the acting chief.
Chief. Yeah. But anyway, Chief, how do you view crime as of right now in the city?
I'm not going to get into questions about crime, how I view crime. I want to talk with my staff, and we'll have a press conference later on. Okay.
I haven't covered for city for a while. Can you just tell me how role you were? What year did you come, and when did you? Different positions. Your history.
There'll be a press release out for that.
There'll be a press release. Okay,
Yes.
good with your bio.
Yes.
Okay.
And
All right.
since you've come, and this isn't, this may be, I don't know, getting into initiatives territory, but since you've come onto the department, can you speak to some of the changes that you've seen in the city that have been most striking to you and maybe have affected the way you guys do your job?
I don't want to make any comments about that yet.
Chief,
Thank you.
One last question, please, sir. It was clearly an emotional moment for you. It was a big moment for you. Were you having flashbacks of maybe like your first day on the job and all of a sudden now that you're chief? I mean, we can all kind of relate to that. It was a big moment for you. Can you just kind of talk about, just what was going through your mind when
Yes,
you...
I was going through the different stages that I went through here to reach this stage here. As I said earlier, I love doing homicides. I love doing violent crime. Not that I wish any harm on anybody or anything like that, but when it happens, I was always right there to make sure that resolution is brought there,
But when you were a child, you said that you wanted to be a police officer. Did you ever imagine being a chief of anything?
No, I just imagined being the captain of CID like Barney Miller. So, anyway, that's...
Thank you,
that's
sir.
it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.